What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles submitted to the channel by 69tails, who's running a team right up my street with Shadow Latias, Shadow Magmar, and Shadow Darmanitan in the Love Cup. Now I'm going to be honest, I have barely played over the past few weeks and I'm so checked out of this season. I'm patiently just waiting for next season's announcement, which to be honest, I thought we'd get at the EUIC last weekend, but unfortunately we got nothing. Now who knows, maybe it will come out in the time between me recording this video and the video going live, but yeah, anyways, I think I'm probably done with battling this season, but I am trying to catch up on some banger submissions that I've received previously where I've not really had the time to showcase them because I was managing to put out enough of my own content. So for the final week especially, if you have any crazy spicy teams that you think could be featured on the channel, now is probably your best opportunity to submit them. Anyways, with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. Are you looking forward to the Global Kalos Tour this upcoming weekend? I personally care less and less about these big events each year, and I feel like honestly I don't know if I will even bother playing this weekend. There's just nothing that excites me during the Kalos Tour, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Let's go into the first battle, leading Shadow Latias into Scissor. Of course, we got two fire types in the back. We will be swapping out straight away into Magmar and baiting out a Bruxish, which our fire types don't particularly want to see, but we've at least got coverage with Scorching Sands here, so we can grab a shield, and we're also going to reach a Fire Punch. Now, Fire Punch is, of course, resisted, but Bruxish is a pretty glassy Pokemon. We get them fairly low now. They could have access to Crunch. It's quite unlikely, so we're going to no-shield the first move, and it's just an Aqua Tail. They will reach another charge move, that's fine with us. We're going to no-shield once again. This time they go for Psychic Fangs. I probably would have thrown them the other way around there. Either way, doesn't really matter too much. We can now go straight for Aura Sphere. Now the opponent actually going to no-shield. That does huge damage. The opponent has to swap out quickly, but their final Pokemon is Magcargo, and whilst yes, against most fire types, they are going to struggle up against Magcargo, but Rock Slide gets the one-shot. The opponent recognizing they had no chance of winning that game, so they allow the move to go through, and we're able to take it. But into next battle, awful lead matchup leading into Wigglytuff, gonna save swap, and once again baiting out another Bruxish. Again, we're going straight for Scorching Sands. Quite likely that they do shield, and they will be shielding the first, but we drop their attack stat, and this time they're not committing to a full farm down, instead going straight for Psychic Fangs and getting the KO. Now, they're already at a second Psychic Fangs. We are going to no-shield this. Once again, we will resist everything if they're not on Crunch, which it looks like they're not on Crunch, and unfortunately, we cannot commit to a full farm down. We're actually going to shield this. I'm not sure I agree with that, but either way, we get the Dragon Breath farm down. They come back in, and again, they're going to have another Magcargo in the back. So let's see if the opponent is just going to give up, or if they will try and shield here and fight this one out. They are going to shield, of course. They can now go for a Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb is going to debuff our attack stat, and Rock Slide is non-stab damage. However, it just does not matter. Shadow Darmanitan is a glass cannon. Rock Slide gets the one-shot. They come back in with the Wigglytuff, and we've put them into range where hopefully a stab Miss Ball will be enough damage to get the one-shot there, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we're going to see Ariados in the lead. It's actually not that bad of a matchup. However, of course, we're going to take super effective damage from Lunge. So we swap out into our fire type. And once again, Magmar baiting out a water type. This time, going to be a Waterfall Milotic, which is quite interesting to see. I don't know if that's common in this meta. I know Milotic is a common pick, but I don't know if Waterfall is necessarily the way to go. However, we're going to come in with a Latias. The opponent going to go for a wrap there. And of course, Waterfall is way better for us than, of course, if they were on Dragon Tail there. Either way, we get a monstrous farm down. We swap out into Darmanitan, and they're going to have a Licky in the back. We're, of course, going to shield this up here as the opponent is going to go for Body Slam, and we're actually not going to overfarm at all. Going to go straight for Overheat. Overheat is unfortunately shielded by the opponent. However, that should put us in a pretty good position. Latias does have quite a lot of energy, so we're going to overfarm just a tiny amount, throwing the Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is going to hit for super effective damage. It gets the KO, and now all we need to do, shield up a Lunge, and whilst, yes, they're going to debuff our attack stat, this is a Mist Ball we're talking about. It's going to hit for super effective damage up against the Ariados. Mist Ball gets the one shot, and we're able to take that game. So, going into the next battle, you see Scrafty in the lead. Honestly, not that bad of a matchup, assuming they're on counter, which they are. So, of course, we're going to outpace them, but they make a very nice catch there, catching a resisted Aura Sphere onto a Clefable. But we can come in with the Latias Darmanitan, and we are going to possibly shield here. We are going to shield. They full send a Moonblast, and whilst, yes, that is resisted damage, honestly, that would have done so much damage there. Now we've got a lot of energy, but we blind throw an overheat, and they come in with Macargo. Why didn't we just wait to see what came in there? That is really painful for us, as we've seen already. Rockside near enough one-shots this thing, whereas now we're going to swap out of this matchup and into our Magmar. Now, we're still in an okay position here, but they do, of course, have energy on the Macargo, so let's see what we can do. We're going to come in with the Shadow Latias, and unfortunately, they will outpace us here. At this point, I guess our only win condition is if Scrafty does not have Foul Play and is instead on Thunder Punch and Upper Hand, I believe is the other charge move option. Either way, we go for Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere gonna connect. Why did they not shield that? I don't understand. Either way, they are just on Thunder Punch there. I don't know why they didn't go for an Upper Hand either. I don't really know what happened in that battle. That was really bizarre. But either way, we get the win. So into the next battle, I'm gonna see a Turtonator in the lead. So this is great to see it here, as our backline really is going to struggle. We're now gonna go straight for Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is going to, when we stop lagging here, it is going to connect, and it doesn't KO, but we do get the Dragon Breath farm down. And honestly, with this lag, the opponent probably have just disconnected at this point, so not ideal for us. They're going to come in with Clefable, and I guess we're just going to carry on playing. I don't know why we've included this battle in the submission here, because they've just lagged out. Like, it's not particularly entertaining, but either way, we get the KO there. Let's see what their final Pokemon was. The opponent, when it does eventually come in, they're actually going to have a Crocodile, so that could have been quite problematic for our backline. For some reason, we're BMing a Pokemon that is, well, a player that's not even in the game anymore. Just go for Aura Sphere. What are we doing? Anyways, we get the KO there. Yeah, we're just going to skip over that battle, pretend it didn't happen. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Talonflame in the lead. So this is going to be a good matchup for us. A little bit awkward just because Aura Sphere is going to be resisted, but we're actually just going to throw anyways. Okay, so that's fine. Aura Sphere is going to be shielded by the opponent, and now we swap into Magmar, where we've only got resisted damage to throw. So I'm not so sure about this. I guess we're just fully sacrificing it, baiting out a Wigglytuff as well, which is quite nice for us because we do have a second fire type in the back, and we put them into range where we can just incinerate, farm them down. Now we're going to shield it. They likely go for an Icy Wind bait here just to debuff us, and they do exactly that, but we kind of needed to respect it. And of course, if they come back in with Talonflame, despite being debuffed, it doesn't matter. Rockside is easily going to one-shot them here. So we throw on CMP. Rockside, going to be shielded. And you know what? Now we're just going to save our final shield for Shadow Latias. Since we've seen the Wigglytuff already, it's unlikely that they have a second really hard answer to Latias. So they come in with a Scrafty. Aura Sphere, super effective. It puts them into Dragon Breath farm down range, and so the opponent just concedes the match. Into the next battle, Shadow Latias into Electrode. So a decent matchup for us, but they will be on Foul Play. So we are going to stay in this matchup. We're going to go for Aura Sphere straight away here. Aura Sphere is going to do quite a lot of damage, so it grabs a shield. And now we swap out. We catch the Foul Play onto our Magmar. Foul Play still going to do quite a lot of damage there. They then come in with a Waterfall Seeking. What on earth is this? Okay, well, anyways, we're going to come in with our Latias. We are just waiting out Switch Lock here, just to make sure, of course, that our Switch Lock will come up by the time we finish this matchup here. But anyways, gonna go for the Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere doesn't KO, and this probably is going to be an Icy Wind. So we're going to shield. It is the Icy Wind. We can now Dragon Breath fire them all the way down, and they come in with a Skeledirge. So that's okay with us. We are going to swap out one turn before they throw, meaning we get a full Incinerate in for free. And also, we predict that they would go for Torch Song since we were so low. That is a huge call for us. Rockside should be grabbing the final shield. Now at this point, we should be in the clear. All we need to do, throw a Mist Ball into the Skeledirge, and then, of course, throw an Aura Sphere into... No, what are we doing? We go for Aura Sphere. This is double resisted. And it doesn't KO, but we can Dragon Breath farm them down. We needed to commit to a Mist Ball there. I think we might have been 2 Dragon Breaths away. Aura Sphere does not cut it up against the Electrode. And unfortunately, we do lose that game. But into the next battle, and an opportunity to instantly redeem ourselves as we see a Skeledirge in the lead. And now they're going to say swap into a Wigglytuff, so we're going to respond with our Magmar. So Fire Punch is going to do respectable damage here. The opponent going to throw a charge move of their own, and this time they are going to go for Swift, which does quite a lot there, but Magmar just barely hanging on, reaching another Fire Punch. Fire Punch gonna get the KO, and the opponent's going to come back in with the Skeledirge. Now, they do have quite a lot of energy here, which is going to be quite tricky for us, but we're going to come in with the Shadow Darmanitan. And honestly, our Incinerators are dealing quite a lot of damage. Of course, they can boost up their attack stat, deal even more damage with their own Incinerates, but we're already at the Rock side. So Rock side should be grabbing a shield here. It is going to grab a shield. And again, I'm just going to put all our faith into Shadow Latias. Yes, we are. This time, we've got so much energy, and instead of throwing, we try to commit to a farm down, but it backfires as well as we don't quite get it. They get to another charge move, but they're going to have a Crustal in the back. Now, do note they are on Smackdown rather than Fury Cutter, and we're able to reach an Aura Sphere, get the final shield, Mist Ball gets the one shot, and we're able to take that game. Into the next match, we're going to see a Macargo in the lead. A great lead matchup for us. Our backline is, well, I say it would struggle. Actually, it wouldn't be that bad. Magmar actually has a decent matchup with Karate Chop and Scorching Sands, and we've already seen Darmanitan slightly ahead on energy is going to absolutely destroy this thing. But either way, still a great lead matchup for us. We're actually going to swap out of that matchup into Magmar, but we're going straight for a Fire Punch. I do not agree with this whatsoever. Fire Punch is double resisted, and they actually knew it was going to be a Fire type move there, so they no shield. And we just fully sacrificed the Magmar. Definitely don't agree with that play at all. But we have put them into range where maybe we could have Incinerate farmed them down. It would have been quite risky. So instead, we just come in with the Latias. And the opponent has their own Latias. However, they are on Charm as the fast move. Meaning they're going to be slower to the charge moves. But their final Pokemon is going to be a Licky Licky. Now, we're not messing around. Overheat is going to be shielded by the opponent there. That is unfortunate for us. And of course, all shields are down on our end. So Shadow Ball gets the KO. They definitely could have just gone for a Body Slam there, but either way, that's fine with us. We're firing off the Mist Ball. I think Aura Sphere probably would have KO'd there, but now we have to go for a resisted Aura Sphere, and Aura Sphere does not get the knockout. They live with 1 HP and a dream. If we threw a single Dragon Breath before going for the charge move, we could have won that game. But it's the next battle, and I believe the final battle for this video. This time, going to swap out Catch the Foul Play, but also get a full Incinerate in as we swap out there. And here we had the Overheat. I don't know why we're going for Rock Side. Turns out it doesn't matter anyways, as the opponent is going to shield, but we can come in and go for the Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is not going to KO, so maybe it wouldn't have quite KO'd in the previous matchup either. Either way, they go for Shadow Ball, meaning we can just Dragon Breath farm them down. The final Pokemon is going to be a Clefable, and they do make quite a nice catch here, but that's fine with us. We can go for Fire Punch. Fire Punch going to be shielded anyways, as they will now reach another charge move. And again, we've put ourselves into a position where we can actually just no shield here. We're choosing not to throw because we want to go for a full farm down. And again, barely just not getting that farm down. That is so unfortunate. But we use our final shield, and now it just depends. Does Mist Ball get the one shot here? It's going to be super close. It doesn't, but the opponent doesn't throw the charge move there, and we're able to Dragon Breath farm them down. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, if you want to take your support to the next level, you can become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments of every video. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has become a channel member already. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.